This is a djembe, by the way, from West Africa, fashioned after West African djembe. This one is actually from British Columbia. Hope, just a four-letter word. Hope. Ah, but what a very large scope it has to go on. Drums are said to be the instrument of truth. Truth and hope to go together too. Yes, that's true. It is a language here in this drum that comes from who knows where, but everybody understands it because it goes right in there to our soul, to our hearts. Straight ahead, no words to get in the way. That's why I love to play. It's a direct message of hope and love, and whatever you put into it can move the earth. You better believe it. It keeps the energy moving fast and slow, slow, or fast and slow. Here we go, drumming for hope, drumming for love, drumming for all that is good and wise and wild and true. In Tibet, in Siberia, all around the world, everyone understands what's coming through.
Woo! Love that. Wow, that's the most exciting in studio we've had in a while. and you can obviously feel the power of that, right? I mean, you know, that does bring hope. And I think for centuries people have used, I'm sure you saw it in Tibet, right? But people have used drums for how long?
Drums and voice. Forever.
Forever.
It's the first instrument after voice, I would say. And you were talking about vibration and the vibration of the prayers, and I feel like the vibrations that come from these drums are prayers also. And these, you know, these are transformed animals and trees here.
Yes.
And so you carry the energy, and it just keeps going on. And to me, and drums are known as the tool of transformation because they move energy so quickly, and you can't help but want to move and dance and shout for joy, you know?
Yeah, well, that's a message of hope, don't you think? Just move and dance and shout for joy.
Enjoy this life, you know? It's funny, I work with a retirement community at the Redwoods in Mill Valley, and today I asked everyone, so what is hope? Well, you know, I'm going to be on this show tonight, and it's a show about hope, and one person said it's the denial of despair, which is beautiful, and another person said it's life. It's a saving grace of life. So I thought about, and there are many more things that were said, but hope is like this bridge between us, and it gives each of us, you know, if I'm down and you're hopeful, it just kind of buoys me up. And that's the same with drums. Drums just kind of buoy people up and raise you, not just to get out of the sludge of whatever sludge you're in, but to actually fly. So when you hear a drum, you see little kids, you know, they just start moving. And if they could fly, they would. And same with big people.
Same with big people. I love that. Now, when you were in Tibet and you would hear the vibration of the prayer, which I think is really true, powerful,
They have a shid drum in Tibetan practice. It's a drum that's this big, and it's got two strings with balls, wooden balls on the end.
And a stick.
And they like this. And so, and then they have the conch shell, like they go woo, and the sound comes out of the conch shell for the healing of all beings. So there's a lot of rhythm and music, and then the chanting, of course, you know, there was this Lama that came in the car with us, that long Jeep ride, and he was sitting back there with his beads, and he's, you know, and it was just like, oh, it's, you know, it just goes into every cell of your being.
Yeah.
Do you feel that by picking up now we'll call it the next phase of your life, like have you found your purpose?
Oh, it found me. It found me, and I am so deeply grateful.
So how can people find their purpose? You're both women who are really doing your purpose, and it's unusual, let's face it. Drumming, going to Tibet, representing nuns, right? These are unusual purposes.
Right, and I think, you know, that question about hope is so twofold, because that first dimension of it is, like I was saying before, like, I have prayed so many times, like, whatever you want of me, let me know. And to be able to receive that is, you know, and be that instrument of change or purpose, you know, whatever it is so huge. And then letting that energy take us where we're supposed to go, you know, where we are meant to go. And yes, it's life-changing. I will never be the same.
And do you think, what do you see as the vision of hope for what's next for the nuns?
I think the vision of hope for the nuns is, my hope for them is to be able to sustain them, because if they don't survive, we have lost a treasure on this planet that is so powerful with everything that has happened in Tibet. Tibet is, you know, the spiritual heart of our planet. And to lose these nuns would, I think, be devastating for this planet. Devastating.
If people want to find out more about how to connect with you, what's your email?
My email is Celedra at mantramala.com. And we also have a website called taramalas.com. And so they're interconnected. So either one of those emails would find me. And
as far as, Barbara, for you and your purpose, what can you share with us about maybe a message of hope for how you found it?
Yeah, well, I always feel like it found me, and it seems
Same
like
thing.
you did too. So I think you need to be open and keep asking and keep looking. Fortunately, I got found at a young age. You got found more recently for this particular purpose. And the purposes change sometimes. Your job description changes. So I think remaining open and listening to those quieter voices is very important. And sometimes you won't know what to do. And then just, you know, I have a friend who looks around and does just any little thing that needs doing. And you just start doing something and it will take you there to the greater purpose.
I think that was a great point about, well, you've been doing it forever, perhaps, and then you found it later in life, and that it really, in a way, just it doesn't matter at a certain level.
It doesn't matter, because I think everything that we do in our life informs the next step, right? I couldn't have done this without everything else that has happened in preparation for it, you know, so, you know, it's just being, I think, being open, and I kept saying during this whole period of time, it was like being on one of those moving sidewalks, those escalators, and it was moving me, and I had to do work, you know, had to take all this action, but there was something so much stronger than me that was directing me, and I used to be so exhausted, and I'd go to sleep, and I'd say, okay, you all have to take over now. I'm exhausted. And so it was just this, it was a really exalted experience, and still is.
Yes.
You know, and I feel those nuns.
Oh.
And I keep saying, like, it's not about me, it's about the nuns, you know.
And Barbara, for you, in terms of your energy and bringing it up on those, because you're a performer, right? You understand about having to work with the energy. So I'm just curious if you could share a message that, what do you do if you have to raise your energy, or maybe you're not feeling it? Like, what can you do? What can you do?
Well, this started at a very young age for me. When I would feel kind of logy or not so great or sad or whatever, I'd sit down at my drums and play, and within moments I was transformed. And I say to people, my prescription for a healthy world is drum, sing, dance, any of those things. And we all can sing. Don't believe anyone who says you can't sing. Make a sound with your voice, you are singing, you know. And those activities take you out of your head, take you out of the busyness and the beta state that our mind is in most of the time, and puts you in a different consciousness. You go into the alpha state, which is the meditative state. Drumming for 10 minutes will do that for you. Just boom, boom, boom for 10 minutes on a drum like this, or even on your body. You could do it if nothing else is around. So I feel like that's a doorway. And we have to have these doorways, because if we're busy, busy, busy all the time, doing, we're going to have a lot of doo-doo. You know, it's doobie-doobie-doo. The be part is very important. And being comes when you do something like music or being in nature. That's why being in Siberia was amazing. The land looked a lot like the green here on your picture, and mountains and old rock carvings. And the shaman I was with, Tatiana Kobishakova, and I were on the top of this mountain. She spoke Russian, I spoke English, but we started singing. We started just doing this very strange kind of ethereal singing. And everyone joined in that was in our group. And then at the end, she said, that's from the spirits. And it's what you're talking about. There's some other force that we can tap into. You can call it whatever you want, but it is here. It's the glue that keeps us all together, that keeps this whole universe together.
Yes.
And so doorways are instruments, or nature, or, you know, hearing nuns chanting and chanting yourself. And
if people want to get in touch with you, what's your email?
I don't need email, just come in through the ethers. No. My email is Barbara, with all the A's, R's, and B's, at bbbeat.com.
Okay, and if you'd like to get a hold of me, you can email me to info@jilllublin.com. Now, I would love for you to give another, shall we say, little drumming feeling for us.
Okay.
About hope, about feeling, about anything that inspires you.
Well, like I heard the scientist say, Suzuki, what's his first name? I heard him the other day. Anyway, he said the bottom line is love. Love. So that always inspires me. So I'll just do a little bit of actually something that I've written about that. Well, it's BB Beat here, broadcasting from high atop the Tower of Love. L-O-V-E, living on vibration eternally. Love, living on vibration eternally. Giving birth to the beauty inside every beat, inside every moment. Ooh, what a treat to be permanently plugged into the heartbeat. The great heartbeat of life, that indescribably delicious, crystalline liquid oozing through each and every one of us, sometimes called light, sometimes called love, or both. Well, it's a warm caress landing deep inside the chest, a heart flash to the soul, driving down the highway to that never-ending well, the well that keeps us whole, whole and holy. Hearts open wide, no place to hide, no duck and cover, 'cause we are the lovers. Yes, 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 we are the lovers we've been waiting for. We are the lovers we've been waiting for.
Oh, wow. Now that is a heck of a message of hope.
That's just a little piece of the song. It goes on and on, but I thought maybe with our time constraints. But.
Well, and I appreciate that message of hope. And by the way, as we're going to outro in just a moment, I'm going to have you lightly play,
You bet.
if I may. And what's your message of hope, if you might, quickly, please?
Oh, my message of hope is that we all find peace and love and joy and fulfillment.
Well, you're certainly helping to make that happen. And Barbara, you are too. And I just appreciate the work of both of you around the world and in the U.S. and everywhere you go. It's obvious you take your hearts with you. And I hope that tonight, each one of you have been inspired for more hope in your hearts through the drumming, through her work with the nunnery, and that each one of you may go out and create more messages of hope for yourselves. Good night.